Before the flag had claimed the sky, a hearth fire lit the shore, where timber, prayer, and chartered words made strangers something more. A person found a public face in meeting house in town. The town received those living hands and wrote their duties down. The old world crossed in books of law, in psalm, in name, in slave, yet taught the newborn settlements what memory could save. For order was no empty scroll, no crown of dust alone. It breathed because united people laid the cornerstone. At dawn, the household broke its bread, then sent children to learn, while fields and forges fed the street and lamps began to burn. The cabin gave the body life, the common road gave trade, and public peace returned the gift the private labor made. A fence could guard a little plot, a law could guard the field, a hand could raise a roof at noon, a town could raise a shield. So hearth and court and market square were fastened into one, for none could finish privately what all had just begun. On Sabbath bells and court days, too, the village gathered near, to weigh the debt of borrowed soil and name the common fear. Each voice was small, yet through the vote a larger voice was heard, and private reason learned to walk inside a public word. The citizen was not complete by dwelling on the land, but learned by serving, judging, bearing office in his hand. The town trained speech, and speech trained law, and law trained will to see that liberty needs practiced souls, not wishes to be free. The graveyard held the family names, the harbor held return, and winter tales at firesides kept the absent years to burn. For homeland was not merely earth nor roof nor river bend, but memory calling kinship back, and kinship calling end. A sailor dreamed of home at sea, a widow watched the lane, a son returned to father's tools through weather, debt, and pain. Remembered life gave kin its claim, and kin made longing true. Return became the gathered self that found its name anew. But under beams of ordered rooms, another shadow stayed, where stolen labor bore the wealth that public virtue made. The city praised its liberty while chains were locked from sight, and judgment stood outside the feast, demanding equal light. Along old paths, the native towns saw treaty lines advance, as maps enlarged their hungry names and called the takings grants. When neighbor's love forgets the small, its hearth becomes a wall, and duty dies when human worth is counted not at all. The charter taught a legal tongue, the courts a patient art, and benefits of ordered peace laid claims upon the heart. Yet law that forms the citizen must answer when it binds, for consent is not the silence left in overmastered minds. A stamp might seem a little mark, a tax a minor fee, till neighbors heard in royal ink a threat to being free. Then law, once loved as common roof, was questioned at the door, for what had formed the citizen now made him less, not more. At tavern board and county court the loyalties now strained, between the king who claimed the law and rights the law contained. The person leaned toward public truth, the town toward chosen voice, and older orders tested peace by asking for a choice. So belonging was no lullaby, no flag yet in the sun, but persons, homes, and handed laws converging into one. The people learned to love a place enough to think and weigh, if order gave them stable roots or stole their soul away. Before July became a flame, before the bells were thrown, the seed of country lived where neighbors made the common known. A household needed town and law, the law its living hands, and memory called judgment down to cleanse the promised lands. Thus patriots arose not loud but bound and interlaced, in bread and blood, court and road, in duties shared and faced. Not yet the nation's thunder cry, not yet the starry dome, but love that finds through ordered life the meaning of a home.